Today I'm going to be making a pair of earrings using shrink film. And this is the package I'm working with. It is a white shrink film and it is from Graphics. I set that off to the side because I've already taken my piece out. I went ahead and printed my graphic that I created. Now these earrings are going to be little vampires and they are for Summerween project. And I'm doing a blog hop with some friends. So we will be connecting to their projects as well over the week. And I am just going to use some washi tape here to hold my image down. And then we're going to trace onto the shrink film. They also make kinds that you could run through your printer. So if you wanted to do that instead of tracing, you could do that as well. Now my printout is in black and so it's going to show through, but if you're having a hard time seeing it, you can always put it on a light box. Now I have a hole punch to punch a hole in the earring before I shrink, and then I'm working with a permanent magic marker and a pit pen for some of the smaller areas. So just to get started here, I am just going to now trace around the edges in permanent marker and color it in. So now that I have them drawn, I'm going to go in and cut them out, and they're going to shrink about 50%. So you really don't have to worry about your shaky hand if you have some shaky lines. And of course the outer edge really doesn't matter, because as long as your cut line is nice and smooth, you're going to be fine. Now, if there's a little bit of white showing up, I can go in and fix that before I shrink down. I can also go in and color the edge, the thickness of the film after it shrinks. But if you're going to shrink plastic and make earrings, you definitely want to do a hole punch beforehand. It's a lot easier, and just a regular office sized hole punch works great, and it shrinks down to the size that works well for what we're doing. I did switch out to an alcohol ink pen. I wasn't having a lot of luck with my markers. They were drying a bit. They're all alcohol ink based, so I can swap out between an alcohol ink marker and a Sharpie, and really any of those would work. If you notice a little difference in the eyes, I went in with some alcohol, rubbing alcohol on a cotton swab, and to make the whites of the eyes more circular, and it actually gave it a kind of a ghosty looking image, and I like the look of it. Of course, I could go over it with a white paint pen if I want those eyes to be more white, but I kind of like the look of what we have there. So now all I need to do is touch up these edges anywhere there's a little white showing, and then we'll be ready to shrink. Might clip the edge there where it's a little wonky. Right here's a little wonkiness. I know that's going to shrink down, but I'm going to try to make that as perfect a smooth edge as I can. Take a little off right there and take off that little point right there. All right, and then I want to punch my hole, and let's see if I take a little bit of a needle here and decide where my center is. I think right about there. So if I mark that right there, and I'll do the same on this one. Right there. Then I'll be able to use my paper punch. All right, so here are my shrunken images, and to show you that I went ahead and used the black marker around the edge. Now, if you find you have any sharp edges here, you can always go over it with sandpaper or a nail file to soften the edge if you want. This little guy had a little blurb on the side, and so I gave him an owie, and I went in with a white marker and dotted their eyes, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to leave the backs blank. I'm going to put some nice paper behind them. So I'm going to just do a spread of Mod Podge back here. Now when it comes to using Mod Podge, I tend to use my fingers, but I've also found that using a tongue depressor is a really nice tool to spread things out evenly. So now I don't have to get my fingers as messy. All right, so there's that. And then I'm just going to put these guys on the back, like so, and a little pressure, and they should dry pretty quick. And then we can move on, and you can see I just got Mod Podge on the front of him, and that's okay because that is a coating material, and even though my marker is permanent, that Mod Podge is going to dry clear on there, and it will be protected. So if you're using a water-based marker with your shrink film, you can coat it, and it will become permanent and won't bleed on you. So I went ahead and cut around the paper, and now I'm just going to go in with a nail file and clean up that edge and go over it with the marker after I get the excess off. So now you have to deal with the hole. And so what I did, took a needle, punched into the paper from the front side, just a small little hole, flipped over to the back so I could see where that was. And then using my needle, I'm going in there and just wiggling it around to give me that opening. And I want it to look even more professional. So once I have this opened up pretty well, I'm going to go in there with the point of my marker and blacken any white areas. So they're probably more prominent on the front than they are anywhere else. But I went in there with my marker to fill it in black, and then if it loosened any of the paper, I went back in and pushed it in place. And then just checking my edge here, it looks like I loosened up my paper a little bit. That's okay, because this is a paper on the back side. I'm going to go over it with Mod Podge just to seal the paper in so that no moisture affects it. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll be able to finish it off with some jewelry findings. So once again, I'm just going to use my tongue depressor here to do a really nice thin coat of Mod Podge on the back. And I can go in and smooth things out with my finger. Now none of that marker is going to come off because it's permanent. But if you used a water-based marker, you're going to want to finish it off. Alright, so that's for that one. And then this one, go in and grab a little more, lay it down. And then of course I'm going to go in with my finger and just smooth it all out. And I'm going to set that off to dry. All right, to finish off my earrings and to show you that the paper has the dried matte Mod Podge on the back, and it made it feel really nice and smooth. So I am happy about that. There's a little bit that still needs to dry in the paper opening, but I'm just going to go ahead and work with what I have here. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a jump ring here and open it up. And I'm looking for the opening. And when you go to open, you want to twist. You don't want to pull apart. So go side to side. Make sure the opening is large enough to reach in there and get through the opening. All right, like so. And then I'm just going to squeeze that shut just a little bit because I'm going to add to it before I finish that off. And so doing the same on the other side. Twisting to open. Sliding that piece through. And then pinching just a little bit to have it hold in place. I have a piece of glue there. All right, so you definitely want to get a jump ring that's big enough to travel through your earring, and these are going to be a rather large set of earrings, so just want to make sure we get that taken care of. And then I'm going to put a little black bead on a head pin that it's not actually a head pin, it's a loop pin, and then from there I'm going to twist a loop. So I turn that to the side. I measure about the width of my finger is what I want. And then I'm going to cut that off. I'm using the flat side of the cut towards the side that I want to keep. All right, so I'm going to cut that. And then I'm going to take my round nose pliers and go in about a third of the way. Maybe it's a fourth of the way. And roll, just keep rolling to get that wire to meet where the bead is. And then I can go in and move things around. And ultimately what I want to do is I want those to be on the same place. All right, so now I'm going to take this bead and go back to the opening here that I may need to pull open just a little bit. All right, and I'm going to thread this bead on there. And now with my 2 pliers, I'm going to wiggle that. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and wiggle that shut. Make sure those are touching there. Okay, and actually pushed it too far. But when you give it a little bit of wiggle bit to the wire, it hardens the wire, and so it's not quite as soft. All right, so make sure that's like that. And then this is going to go onto my earring. And once again, all I need to do here is open that up, twisting it. All right. And then making sure this is going to hang correctly before I close it up. I tend to have issues with hanging them correctly. I don't know if it's because I'm left-handed or not, but there, so I'll wiggle it back. And so there is what our earring is going to look like. And so I'm just going to do the same on the other side.